It's time for the all-new online and in-video Kurtiss Riggs Show, brought to you by Sanford Health. This weekly video podcast features the head coach of the Indoor Football League's defending champion, the Sioux Storm. Each week we visit with Coach Riggs and talk about games and events around the IFL, have a recap and highlights from the previous Storm game, and Coach's scouting report of the Storm's next opponent. Also on the Kurtiss Riggs Show are guests, either Storm players or someone from the Storm organization, the IFL, or anyone of interest to Storm fans. And now, here is your host of the Kurtiss Riggs Show, IFL Hall of Fame sportscaster, Roste.
And hi, everybody. You found us. The all-new Kurtiss Riggs Show on the Sioux Storm, a whole new era of broadcasting for the Sioux Storm, as we are going to be going online for all of our Kurtiss Riggs shows and also for the Storm ball games, other than the first two, because we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But the first two ball games will be on a new television network. This is going to be a national network, and we'll be talking about that with during the course of this broadcast, and also bring you up to date on the Storm forecast. It'll be coming out a little bit later on this week. But this is the new Kurtiss Riggs Show, and it's going to be the same format. We're going to talk to the coach about the week's game before, some highlights. We'll talk about things around the IFL and a couple of guests and a preview of the next game. But we're going to do it all on video. All of the interviews will be on video so that you can watch them. They'll be archived on the Storm website, and you can go back and watch them again. So it's a whole new thing for the Sioux Falls Storm, and very excited to be a part of it. In my 20th year of sportscasting with the Sioux Falls Storm, I've enjoyed every minute of it. Now, coming up in this broadcast, we'll be talking to the Director of Officials, Tom Falcinelli, and some very interesting things he'll be talking about, along with something that happened to him up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and what he witnessed and was a part of. A very tragic event up there. We'll be talking to Tom Falcinelli about that. Also, the new rules that will be coming out. One particular was already put into place in the game up in Green Bay, and we'll be talking about that directly. Then also we'll be talking to Jason Headley. He is the president of the Sioux Falls Storm, the new ownership group. We'll talk about the games coming up, changes that they've made, and how they're really working to make this a great fan experience. And also we'll be talking about what's coming up on Saturday, and that's going to be something that's going to be very special. Come out Saturday and join the South Dakota Beef Industry Council this Saturday as the Sioux Falls Storm open up their season, powered by beef. This Hall of Fame game will be fun for the whole family, as there'll be beef tailgating, burger battles, and the kids' zone activities taking place throughout the afternoon. A lot of great things coming up on Saturday. For the tailgating starts at 2 o'clock in the Denny Sanford Premier Center parking lot. Then we'll also be talking to the head coach a little bit later in the broadcast about the game coming up, the game with the Iowa Barnstormers, as they're going to be coming into town for the Hall of Fame Bowl. But one of the things very special about that Hall of Fame Bowl is the fact that our head coach, Kurtiss Riggs, will be inducted into the IFL Hall of Fame, and we'll be talking to him about that directly, too. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. Glad you joined us. Glad you found us. Go to the Storm website, click on Listen Live or the Kurtiss Riggs Show, or just go to the social media, because this should be on the social media, Facebook for the Sioux Falls Storm. But stay tuned. Come on back, and we'll have more of the Kurtiss Riggs Show right after this. And welcome back to the Kurtiss Riggs Show. Rich Roste, and joining me is the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs, one of the newest inductees coming up this Saturday into the Indoor Football League Hall of Fame. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Rich. I think I just did a long broadcast deal with South Dakota Beef, and they talked a lot about this. And when you actually talk about it, you start to think about what crowning achievement it is, not just for me, but for all the guys I coached and all the owners and yourself and everyone involved in all these years. You think not everyone can be recognized. And I know, like, when you receive this award, I'm sure you felt the same, that not everyone gets recognized, and it's a way to hopefully bring recognition to all those people that were involved. And so that's what I hope. Like, one of the first things I did was invited previous owners. I invited Colin Steen and, some of the people, Mike Aldridge, that were influential in me even stepping into indoor football. Kalen's going to be the person that introduces me, because Kalen was the one that talked me into playing. So it kind of brings you down memory lane. I hadn't really thought about it much, so I started talking about it some, and it's a lot of fun to think back and now realize how many great people were involved.
You know, Coach, I can't help but think when you start talking about memories, about being outside the Casper Event Center in Casper, Wyoming, and you were kind of leaned up against the wall sitting down, and you said to me, well, Rich, next year I'll be sitting in the fans with the fans, enjoying a beer and giving the players and the coaches a bad time. And you had no intention of coming back to indoor football after your last game, did you?
Yeah, no, none. In fact, Kayla and I both, that was our plan, was we're going to be sitting in the stands, questioning calls and yelling at the officials. And so I guess I was able to still continue those two things, but not drink a beer as I'm doing those things. And that would be Mike Aldridge, who was the one that talked me into coming in and helping coaching, and then just things fell into place. Mike left to go to University of Louisville, and Colin Steen approached me about becoming the head coach, and then even after the very first year, my first year as head coach, we went out and lost in Salt Lake City in the playoffs, and I just thought, boy, this is a lot. I wasn't expecting this, and I'm not sure if this is what I want to keep doing, and I'm pouring everything into this, but I love to compete. I love being around the guys. I love the organization, and it just became a part of life.
Well, it's been a tremendous ride. You have reached heights in coaching in this league that no one else probably will ever touch. You're the Jack Nicklaus of coaching in this league because of all the majors that he's won. You've won 11 of championships. It's an amazing accomplishment, and it's been fun for me to be a part of it all these years. And I think back to that very first one back in Sioux City, and one of the players in that game is going into the Hall of Fame with you, and that's Fred Jackson. What a tremendous player he was, and what a representative of the IFL he was as he went on to his career in the NFL.
Yeah, and he really exemplifies. I mean, I don't know how many players, Rich, that I talk to that I would use Fred Jackson as a recruiting tool because of his success. I mean, we get questioned by agents and players like, well, who's moving up and who's doing what? And instantly, Fred Jackson's the guy that you could say, look what he's doing. Look what he's accomplished. And we'll help you try to get to that same point if you're able to go out and perform. Fred performed at such an unbelievable level. He was so talented. And, we lost 3 really tough games to Sioux City that year in the regular season. And I think every time it was just him finally taking over the game and beating us until that championship game. We were able to just make one more play than them. And thankfully Fred then moved on and we didn't have to face him anymore in the indoor game because he was truly talented. I think there's only been one back in the indoor game that's even comparable. And I always thought Torrey Harrison was very similar to Fred Jackson. But I couldn't believe all the years Fred kept getting passed up. And I think a lot of it's attributed to you just have such a turnover of ownership that many people didn't know who he was. They didn't even know he played in the indoor game. And so he never really was considered. And it's good to see Todd and the voters were able to get him in this year.
Now, there's other members going into the IFL this coming Saturday at the game with the Sioux Falls Storms and the Iowa Barnstormers, and you know them very well. And just if you could have a few comments about two of the other recipients. Haran O'Neill, a coach. Tell us about Haran O'Neill.
Yeah, Haran and I, we battled. I mean, that was quite a rivalry. He was coaching Billings at the peak of their success with Chris Dixon and Mania Smith and Gerald and Charlie and Bazemore. And I mean, so many talented players, Gaddafi, Trevani Johnson. I mean, you just go on. And he was able to get such a dynamic group of athletes to Billings, Montana. And, ultimately he knocked us off of when we were on our 5-year streak. We ended up losing to them. And I still would have loved to have a rematch of, when we had to play in that little tiny building. But they were good, and he did a great job. He was a very good coach, and I've somewhat followed and seen that he continues to have success.
Yes, he does. He's with the Salina team, the CIF, and has done very well there, bringing them a championship, I do believe. And you talk about that small building out in Billings, Montana. The reason we were in the practice facility because a tornado had taken out the Rimrock Arena. So we're actually playing the championship game in a practice facility. It was minimal, but we got the job done as far as getting through the game. It was a tough game, and the Storm came up on the short end. One of the very few times you did in a championship game. Let's talk a little bit.
That's a chapter in our book, Rich. That's another chapter that we'll have in there.
Yeah, that book is going to be second volume coming up soon. Now, one of the other recipients is a man that we've worked with and battled against his team, John Pettit, who had died last year because of COVID, and he is a recipient of the Hall of Fame and general manager of the Iowa Barnstormers. Tell us a little bit about John.
Well, I didn't know John until they entered the IFL, and then I got to know him as the person that was running the Iowa Barnstormers. I didn't really know he was the part owner until I did a little more digging and asking, and I know he wanted to beat us badly. And when they beat us in the championship game, that was very glorifying for him. And I think a lot of it is the hard work and making the transition and showing that, hey, we can be on top again. And it was well deserved. They had a great team that year. They did a nice job and beat us. I know he poured everything he had into indoor football. And he's one of those people that, he really gave everything he had to the Iowa Barnstormers, and he bled Iowa Barnstormers all the time. So I think it's a great crowning achievement recognition for someone like that he gave everything he had to an organization and to the league. Where I first actually did meet him was league meetings, and I wasn't sure who he was. I just knew this guy has a lot of knowledge about indoor football and the arena game and unions and all of these things. And so I know he was constantly thinking about ways to improve and enhance not only Iowa, but the league too.
And a competitor, to say the least.
Yeah, very much.
Very good, Coach. We'll be talking a little bit more about this game coming up this weekend, a little bit later on the broadcast. But when we come back, we'll be talking about the year that wasn't. Coming up next on the Kurtiss Riggs Show. Back right after this.
Fireplace Professionals is a proud supporter of the Sioux Falls Storm. Our gas fireplaces and inserts from Heat and Glow and Heatolator are the best in the business. You can stop in and see the region's largest showroom or visit us on the web at fireplaceprofessionals.com and get a virtual tour. We have almost 100 Heat and Glow and Heatolator models on display and even more in stock. If you ever need advice, just call 605-339-0775 or better yet, stop in and see us at 1217 West 41st Street in Sioux Falls. You're going to love the way your home feels. Hey Sioux Falls, do you want the guaranteed best carpet cleaning ever? Then you need to check out Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration. Since 1989, Best Choice incorporates the work ethic and durability of old school family methods with the efficiency of modern equipment to offer high quality cleaning services. When they're done cleaning the carpet in your home or office, you'll be thrilled with the results. Try Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration and experience the best carpet cleaning ever.
Hi, everybody. This is Rich Roste for the Sioux Falls Storm. When you think about sponsors that have been a part of the Sioux Falls Storm organization, there's no one that's been around longer than Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. They've been around since the days of the Cobras 21 years ago, and they are a special organization, and they've been working to further enhance deliveries in Sioux Falls by supplementing their delivery staff with a third-party delivery company, so you get your subs baked fresh, sliced fresh, and delivered fresh. That's Good Sense. Deli Fresh Subs. Man, that's good.
More people are choosing Silver Star Car Wash than ever. Just $14.95 per month for fast, easy, unlimited washes at all of our Silver Star Car Wash locations. Get in and out quick and easy with free vacuums and prep towels and several convenient locations all over town. You won't find a better value anywhere. Just $14.95 per month for unlimited washes. Silver Star, a better wash, a great feeling.
Fireplace Professionals is a proud...
Each week, our major sponsor for the Kurtiss Riggs interviews is Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. And they're located at 917 South Cliff Avenue, working to further enhance deliveries in Sioux Falls by supplementing their delivery staff with a third-party delivery company so you get your subs baked fresh, sliced fresh, and delivered fresh. That's Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. Man, that's good. Let's get back to the Storm head coach, Kurtiss Riggs. Back again with the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. Well, Coach, it's been a long time coming getting to this season. We had the whole season last year was stymied because of the COVID pandemic. And what challenges did that present for you? I mean, it did for everybody across the board. But as far as you as the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, you know, about players, retaining them, ones that didn't come back, all this type of thing that you've been working on the past year to get to this point. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, it started right away with, you know, the league talking about postponing, moving things back. So, you know, do you send players home? Do you continue to house them? And then what we found was many players were able to find employment in Sioux Falls during that time. So then, you know, how do we help them transition into their own housing, you know, during the off season? And then during the off season, how do we sign back the guys that we know we want back, and which guys are going to move on with their careers now and step away from football? And then, you know, how do we go out and find new players? Because there's going to be a whole crop of players that never got an opportunity to do anything. How do you pick from those? And there was a lot of challenges, even just challenges of having a routine and that now being completely disrupted. I mean, you're so accustomed to doing certain things, certain days, and that was your life for so long. And now it's staying at home all the time. And that was tough.
Going through this time, how many of the players that you had signed that you really thought you were going to be a part of your team last year would not come back because of other commitments? A percentage, maybe?
You know, I know there were some key ones. And some were by our choice too, Rich. I mean, that was the one thing with the COVID cancellation. I mean, we had camp. So with camp, that gave us a chance to really evaluate the roster. Now, the problem for us was with camp, we were able to evaluate, not have some guys back because we felt like we could improve. But guys we wanted back, Some of them opted to move on. And there's a handful of those guys that we lost that we were really hoping to get back and thought they could really help us defend our title. But it comes a point where they have to make a decision. That's a life decision, and because they can't continue to play football forever.
Coach, we talk about the season last year that wasn't. But the season that was in 2019. And sometimes people forget that the Sioux Falls Storm are the defending champions. We've carried that title for an extra period of time because of the no season. But, when I think back in that season of 2019, Coach, that was an amazing ride throughout the course of the year. Tell us what you highlight as far as that 2019 season.
Well, I mean, shouldn't we be back-to-back champions then? I mean, 2020, yeah. I think about, having a good team, not really a great team, but finding our way to get through wins when we needed to, never really getting a big win, though, during the regular season. And then even in the playoffs, we beat Tucson. We weren't great. We were good and we beat them. And then in Iowa, we get some breaks and we pull off the victory. And then we go into Arizona, and that's when we played great. We played great at a critical moment, and we played our best football against an undefeated Arizona team in front of an amazing crowd. And we earned that victory. I mean, it could be pointed at officials or whatever. We played better than Arizona that game, and we earned that championship. And the guys really went out there and poured everything they had and left it all out on the field.
One of the key factors of that game, and you totally outfoxed the Silver Fox on this one. Late in the game, there was a situation, you're down inside the 5-yard line, and you took a delay of game penalty. Tell us about that.
Well, we take that because, then you get backed up 5 yards, and now that linebacker's got to be 5 yards back. Whereas if you're at the 1-yard line, that linebacker can be right there at the 1-yard line. And it becomes tougher to gain that positive yard with someone that can line up right in the A gap. They had some big physical, strong guys, so they could fill the A gaps and come off the edges with the ends and bring safeties outside of them, and makes it difficult. Whereas if we can create space and move that guy back a little bit, it's pretty easy to then get a positive yard.
I was going to play that highlight of me calling it because I sounded like such an idiot when I started to call that, being, oh my goodness, we're taking delay. I mean, what's going on here? They're walking around, they're standing. What's going on? One word: orchestrated.
Yeah, I don't think. And the guys did a great job because we were afraid Arizona would decline it.
Yeah.
And that's why we had the guys acting like they were frustrated and surprised. And Lawrence Martin does a great job as he's hustling up to the line of scrimmage. He points at the clock, and so it looked very accidental, but it definitely worked out in our benefit.
Very good. Any other comments about the 2019 season?
Well, I think it was a magical season. I think the way it was capped off. I mean, what an unbelievable atmosphere that was, and to go down there with Arizona being undefeated and us to win that in front of their crowd was definitely one of the more memorable championships.
To go to break, we'll have the last call. The last call I did in that game. Last call I've done for a while, but it's not the last call.
32.1 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. The Storm clinging to a 3-point lead, 56-53. They have the ball at the Arizona Rattler 5-yard line, second down and goal. They need to advance the ball, otherwise the clock will stop. If they do advance the ball, this ball game may be over. And Lorenzo Brown, quarterback sneak, takes it down to the 4-yard line, and the clock is going to roll, and it's under 25 seconds. It's under 25 seconds. And the Storm, and they're going to just let the clock run out. Holy help me, Hannah, the Sioux Falls Storm are bringing the cup home. Oh my, the Sioux Falls Storm. Nobody gave them any chance of winning this game, and they come away from Glendale, Arizona with the victory. 56 to 53, a come from behind victory. They were trailing by as much as 10 points. And the second game of the playoffs, the Storm has come from behind to win. Oh my.
That kind of gets me back in the mood. I hope it does with the fans. I hope we have a great crowd this coming Saturday.
Likewise. Yeah. I mean, just seeing people get into the Premier Center or even on other games that we watched, it just brings such an excitement. I know the players are really excited about that opportunity.
Well, we'll have a little bit of a scouting report with Coach when we return to the Kurtiss Riggs Show. We'll be back right after this.
Fireplace Professionals is a proud supporter of the Sioux Falls Storm. Our gas fireplaces and inserts from Heat and Glow and Heatolator are the best in the business. You can stop in and see the region's largest showroom or visit us on the web at fireplaceprofessionals.com and get a virtual tour. We have almost 100 Heat and Glow and Heatolator models on display and even more in stock. If you ever need advice, just call 605-339-0775 or better yet, stop in and see us at 1217 West 41st Street in Sioux Falls. You're going to love the way your home feels. Hey Sioux Falls, do you want the guaranteed best carpet cleaning ever? Then you need to check out Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration. Since 1989, Best Choice incorporates the work ethic and durability of old-school family methods with the efficiency of modern equipment to offer high-quality cleaning services. When they're done cleaning the carpet in your home or office, you'll be thrilled with the results. Try Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration and experience the best carpet cleaning ever.
Hi, everybody. This is Rich Roste for the Sioux Falls Storm. When you think about sponsors that have been a part of the Sioux Falls Storm organization, there's no one that's been around longer than Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. They've been around since the days of the Cobras 21 years ago. And they are a special organization, and they've been working to further enhance deliveries in Sioux Falls by supplementing their delivery staff with a third-party delivery company so you get your subs baked fresh, sliced fresh, and delivered fresh. That's Good Sense. Deli Fresh Subs. Man, that's good.
More people are choosing Silver Star Car Wash than ever. Just $14.95 per month for fast, easy, unlimited washes at all of our Silver Star Car Wash locations. Get in and out quick and easy with free vacuums and prep towels and several convenient locations all over town. You won't find a better value anywhere. Just $14.95 per month for unlimited washes. Silver Star, a better wash, a great feeling.
And welcome back to the Kurtiss Riggs Show. Rich Roste, and joined with me right now is the Director of Officials of the IFL, good friend Tom Falcinelli. Tom, thanks for being on the Kurtiss Riggs Show.
Hey, my pleasure.
You know, before we talk about the season and any changes and things like that, you were a part of really a tragic event up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where at the hotel, the teams and other parts of the IFL, different members of the IFL, were staying at a hotel, and there was a shooting. Could you tell us about that, Tom?
Well, I was in the lobby when the axe of this deranged guy broke loose. I saw the sheer terror in the eyes of the victims as they just were screaming and fleeing from the area. I mean, I get it. I was a cop for 30 years. I stepped outside the lobby, got to a safe area. But what stood out, as it always should stand out, is that while the guests were fleeing from the terror, which was just, you know, we heard the pops of the gun just inside, who is sprinting towards the danger but the men and women in blue to eliminate the threat? And, you know, they're running towards the evil as everyone is fleeing in terror. You know, they displayed tremendous courage while others fled. And I guess I'm sick of the twisted, sick leftist media that is constantly, with their hate groups, just denouncing the police. They broadcast just tremendous things that an infinitesimal amount of the police do. You'd never, ever hear about the tremendous good that 99.9% of the men and women in blue do well. And that was on display that evening. We've got to start trusting and respecting our police officers again. And every morning they put that uniform on. They have no idea whether they're going to come home that night or not, just to keep us safe. They risk their lives every day. And the mainstream media only wants to put out bad mouth. The people riot, the hate groups hate the police. We just need to stop disrespecting the police in this country and respect them for what they do for all of us. And that's all I can say.
What had happened up at Green Bay was there was a shooter came into the hotel, a disgruntled former employee looking to shoot different parts and members of the staff, and wound up shooting two individuals, one in almost execution style, before being shot himself by the police force. And what a tragic story. And Tom, you were a part of it, and it has to be indelibly ingrained in your mind, and also everybody of the team that was there and anybody else that was in that lobby during that shooting.
Yeah, I'm shocked the Pirates could play the next day. I'm shocked, and give them credit for stepping up and playing a good game.
Well, Tom, that has happened, and as tragic. We send our feelings and prayers to those families and all involved. But there's a season to go on, and the teams up there in Green Bay and Massachusetts went ahead and did play that game that night, in spite of all of the tragedy around them. But the world marches on, and we have a game coming up this weekend. Sioux Falls Storm going to be hosting the Iowa Barnstormers here in Sioux Falls. But we'll talk more in terms of the league itself. Tom, you've been a director of officials for how many years for the IFL?
Wow, 9 maybe, I'm guessing.
That's been a long time. We've known each other a long time. But anyway, Tom, coming into this season now, what are some of the rule changes that fans are going to notice during the course of games coming up?
Well, we really didn't have a lot of changes from the last 1 week season that we had. I guess the main thing is just the deuce. And we did see our first deuce 2 weeks ago in Green Bay, which is a kick in the final minute. When you have a free kick, that is a kickoff in the final minute of the half or the game. If it goes through the uprights, it's a couple of points for the kicking team. So it had an effect in that Green Bay game at the end.
That's an interesting rule. We didn't have a chance to see it, and it was the first time it had been actually done. Whereas within the last minute of the half or the game, free kick, which is a kick off, goes through the uprights. It's worth how many points? 2, isn't it?
2 points.
2 points, and that's a huge thing. And then if they score, do they kick again?
No, it just the receiving team will get the ball at the 5-yard line.
Okay.
So pin them back.
So that's a very key rule. Anything else that fans would be interested as far as game rule changes?
No, not really. The only thing you might see, and we saw this past weekend, we had 2 really good officiating crews. I really want to emphasize, since we're going to TV, that we need to do a better job of getting in and out of the penalty enforcements. And this past weekend, Chris Wiggins' crew out of San Diego and Jim Schaefer's crew in Green Bay just did a tremendous job of, as soon as the flag's on the ground, just get in and out of those penalty enforcements, sometimes in 10 seconds. We can't have the long discussions anymore that we see all the time. I mean, it's needed sometimes, but it's a real point of emphasis here to speed up the game.
One of the things that Tom had mentioned was about television, as the IFL is going into a new phase right now, a new direction that they're having nationally televised games as far as a company network nationwide. And every week there's going to be a game of the week in the IFL. Coming up this weekend, it'll be the Sioux Falls Storm hosting the Iowa Barnstormers, and I've been privileged enough to be asked to be a part of that broadcast team. Now, Tom, when you talk about the officials, what are the points of emphasis that you're looking for this year from your crews?
Well, one of the big ones is, and we've seen it on display the last couple of weeks, is we've got a lot of new players and some new teams this year that may not be familiar with our IFL and our rules, and we're going to have a 0 tolerance for any type of taunting behavior by the players. And the officials will have a quick flag on that, and they've been doing that the last couple of weeks, and it's reflected on these guys knowing what we want to enforce, knowing what we want to get. This is family entertainment. We're going to have no tolerance for any of the type of taunting behavior that sometimes exists in football. We're not going to tolerate it. And that is a big point of emphasis this year.
And that's one of the things that you see, that you're trying to make it so that what the people are seeing, the game isn't about the individual, and the showboating and things like that, that will be minimized, I believe. And I think that's very important to make this a professional all the way across the board, not only in how they dress and how they act and the taunting and all those types of things. Let's take this out of the backyard lots and make this really a professional team event. And it's going to be very fan friendly from that standpoint.
And it's not to take away the celebrations. We want to be big on that. We allow the players to celebrate. It's a great thing. But when it crosses the line of a taunt, we're going to have a quick flag.
Very good. Tom, when you talk about the officials, one thing that you are a part of is the training of them within the rules. And tell us a little bit about your program, because it's one of the very few that you really see from a fan's standpoint.
Well, I laugh sometimes, like, a couple weeks ago, just before the season started, I get texts or emails from across the country. Hey, Tom, I understand you're kicking off. We got new franchises. I want to work in the IFL. I've got college experience. And I'm like, 2 weeks before kickoff, you think you're going to learn this game? I mean, I hired my new crews for this year last August. I mean, many months ago, because these guys, and they have to learn the rules. They have to learn our mechanics. They have to learn our nuances. And it's all done online now. Unfortunately, we don't have our annual clinic anymore because of the pandemic, but we've been doing a real good job online. And I look forward to seeing some of these rookie crews work this season, because they've been putting in the work since the end of last summer.
And what people don't realize, as far as officiating football, indoor football is probably one of the toughest because it's the fastest. There's so many different avenues that they have to be aware of. Each official has so many different things that they are responsible for. And to learn that, because it's so much different, plus you compact it on a 50-yard field, it's only 48 yards wide. And you got a little thing called the wall. It's going to, if you get caught between the wall and the players, you're going to have a tough time as an official. So all of those different nuances for these new crews, it's once they get inside the walls, it's entirely different, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's the hardest football game in the world to officiate. And if you can officiate indoor ball, you can work anywhere. Well,
Tom Falcinelli, so much has happened during the course of last year, but it's great to be back on the field again. It's great to see you again. And we'll look forward to seeing you down the road. And thank you for your time today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Tom Falcinelli, Director of Officials for the IFL. We'll be back with more of the Storm Kurtiss Riggs Show after we pause for this timeout. We'll be back right after this.
Supporter of the Sioux Falls Storm, our gas fireplaces and inserts from Heat and Glow and Heatolator are the best in the business. You can stop in and see the region's largest showroom or visit us on the web at fireplaceprofessionals.com and get a virtual tour. We have almost 100 Heat and Glow and Heatolator models on display and even more in stock. If you ever need advice, just call 605-339-0775, or better yet, stop in and see us at 1217 West 41st Street in Sioux Falls. You're going to love the way your home feels. Hey, Sioux Falls, do you...
Joining us now on the Kurtiss Riggs Show, the president of the Sioux Falls Storm, Jason Headley. Jason, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
You know, it's been a year in the making to finally have a Storm game after you guys took over the ownership of the Sioux Falls Storm, and it has been a long year, and lots of different things have happened. Tell us about what it's been like to wait for this past year.
You know, it's been challenging. Again, we're not unique. I think everybody out there's had their experiences and their challenges with COVID, and we are probably unique in the entertainment industry and with the indoor football league in that way, in that aspect. But I was being a new owner, with our group that we've got. I was thinking about it this morning that everything last year up to the point of our 2 days before the first game, everything was a new experience for us. Every day, something that was new that we hadn't been through. We didn't know if we were doing it right or wrong. It was just going to happen. We entrusted people like you that have been there before and gave us the direction, and the game day staff being all involved, and their experiences and their veteran status that they can help us get through these through the game day experience. And when that shut down, it was okay. This is really out of the ordinary and new, and what do we do, and what would we do in any other situation with a business? And so we tried to keep everything together and watch our finances, keep positive, find ways to stay relevant. But with all the other teams within the IFL, everybody's dealing with different situations in different states, different regulations, all the different mandates. A lot of things had to come together to get to where we're at today. And so now we're back to that point of our first game, and we've had a chance to fine tune, and we've had a chance to hopefully make things better than we did last year, create a better experience, a better product. Now, with that being said, there's challenges, I think, with Riggs on the player side. Mm-hmm. It's a whole new world with the players, and but luckily I can have the excuse that that's his role, not mine, and so I let him worry about the players, and we try to help take care of the business end of things. But it's been challenging, but we're excited to be where we're at, and finally get the season going and get things rolling. So we're
I'll tell you what, the first game's coming up on Saturday as the Sioux Falls Storm going to be hosting the Iowa Barnstormers in the first annual Hall of Fame game of the IFL. It's going to be an interesting thing because it's also going to be televised, and which will change a lot of the broadcast for teams, because the IFL is going to be having a team or a game of the week every week throughout the season. And at that point, then there is no streaming from the locals as far as that's concerned. Everything is going through the television side, but it's very exciting to have the league take this major step into broadcasting IFL football all across the United States. Yeah,
it's exciting. We're trying to take the IFL to another level. We again, being new to the IFL, to the league too, personally as an owner, there's some great partners that we're with out there, other team owners and organizations that we work with that have done a great job to help promote and help take us up another level, that where we should be and where we want to be. It helps improve the quality of the game, helps improve the quality of the product we're all putting out there, so we're all on the same page. And I couldn't ask for a better group of people to be with and help guide us through as owners also. They've been great to work with. And again, with Todd Tryon being the commissioner, his expertise and his experience has been great for us. And he's been a good one to lean on when we need it if we have questions or concerns. So he's been a great support for us. And I think he's helped a lot of new teams that we've picked up along the way in the last 2 years I've been involved. There's been some good teams that have joined, and we're excited to have others join us, and some announcements coming down the road that we have for new teams joining. That'll be exciting for the next couple years. So
fantastic. One thing about it, as far as this coming weekend, we're not going to be having a Storm broadcast. I'm not, for the first time in 20 years, that I'll not be doing the game itself. However, I will be, and I was invited to be a part of the television broadcast. So I'll be stepping over to the other side. I'll have to slick my hair down even better than to get when I'm on television, but it's going to be fun to be a part of that. And Jason, I think that's a great step. Now, as far as this first game coming up, what do you have planned for the fans that's going to be different for them, or what can they expect when they come here on Saturday for the game at the Denny Sanford Premier Center?
Well, first I'm going to back up and congratulate you on being able to be a part of that. TV broadcast. That'll be great. I think it'll be it's a great experience for Sioux Falls, for the the Premier Center, for you, for our team, and again, our first 2 games being televised. It'll be an exciting new adventure for us, and so. But congratulations to you for being a part of that. You certainly deserve that. But for this Saturday, we try to break these games down by each weekend that we've got a game. We're trying to break them down and see what fun things we can create and new ideas. Some things have been tried in the past. We're going to try to do them maybe a little bit different, a little bit better, hopefully. But start with this weekend. We have the South Dakota Beef Industry Council is our sponsor partner of the game, and so we wanted to get them involved with beef, and we're going to have a food truck challenge that starts at our tailgating at 1 o'clock. So we've got 3 or 4 food trucks that will be they're going to be participating in that, and so they're going to have a food truck challenge that goes from 1 to 2:30, and we have Mayor Paul Tenakin, we have Chef Ellen, and then another rancher that's been asked to join the fun and be a judge for us for the food truck challenge. At 3 o'clock, we then have our burger battle. And the burger battle is going to include, at this point, we've got USD, we have SDSU, we have Augustana, and Black Hills State University. And they're all part of the Build Your Base program with the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. So they're going to be, there'll be a group from each school that'll be a part of that burger battle. And we've got grills being provided to us by Barbecue Heaven with Fireplace Professionals, and they are going to help get the grills up and running. We've got a stage, we've got some live music, but from 3 to 4 o'clock will be the burger battle, and then the judges will judge on the final product from them, and we have our after that, then we've got our parade of the players and the Lightning Girls. We have the Groove Drum Club that is going to be
cool.
Leading that procession too for us. So we're trying to make it a fun event prior to the game to get people out there. It's supposed to be a beautiful day on on the 15th here, and we're excited to get things rolling. I envision a large crowd, but I know things can sometimes need to start small and grow from there. But I think we're trying to provide a fun, the family fun of football has been our motto and our the path we wanted to follow with creating the excitement. And we can get families involved and help support local businesses, have some good football and have fun with it. That's our plan. So we're excited for that.
Well, I have to make a decision. Either be a part of a national broadcast or have beef and a burger bash cook-off. I think I'll see what time the meetings are before the broadcast and see if I can swing out there and get something to eat.
Maybe you can just bring the whole, maybe you can bring a tray back to everybody and help feed them.
That would be a great thing. Fans, how do they get tickets?
So right now they can contact our office if they want to get tickets or through Ticketmaster and or through the ticket box at the Jenny Premier Sanford.
And the other thing also, as far as sponsorships are concerned, if anybody wants to become a sponsor, be a part of the advertising organization around the Sioux Falls Storm, just contact the Sioux Falls Storm office. And if you ever go to the website, just make sure you have 2 S's, Sioux Falls Storm, S and S, and make sure that you go that way and you get online and you can get a lot of information there on the Sioux Falls Storm website. Anything else, Jason, that fans would need to know about coming up this weekend or the season in general?
No, our schedules are out there. We're trying to have a presence on social media, keep everybody informed on what's going on. And no, we want to one more big push for this weekend on the 15th. Get the tailgating party going and get that to be a fun event for every home game. And the games, all of them at this point are all starting at 7:05 on a Saturday. So we're excited to get things rolling and have everybody come to the games.
Well, one thing about it, things have changed over the past year with the pandemic. a lot of people are doing things differently, travel, going out to events and things like that. For those that have a question about the safety and how is the Storm organization or the Denny Sanford Premier Center handling social distancing and precautions as far as the pandemic is concerned?
So, our take on it is we want everybody to be vaccinated. We are all vaccinated, but we understand everybody has different beliefs and understandings of what they want to do with that. That's fine. If you're not feeling well, don't come. That's, part of, I think, on any common sense with any business, with going anywhere. If you're not feeling well, whether it's the COVID or the flu or just cold, sometimes you just probably just stay home and not get anybody else sick. But if you're coming to the game and you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. That's great. We'll have masks on us that we'll be wearing too at times, but it's 100% wide open at the Denny Premier Sanford Center. So if you want to, there's no restrictions, I guess is what I'm saying. There's no restrictions for numbers of people. If that's not 50%, 75, we're 100% open and ready to be there. Now, if you have a concern and you do want to be separated from other people, we do have 2 sections that we are opening up to people that have a concern and don't want to be so close to others. That we do have that availability to move you to or switch your tickets to, so that you can be separated from others. But otherwise, right at this point, we're business as usual. So,
coming up this weekend is the Hall of Fame game. The first time the IFL has had that, as far as that distinction, to have the first games of the season. One of the first games of the season be the induction and the introduction of the new electors into the IFL Hall of Fame. And for this year, the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, along with Haran O'Neill, John Pettit, and also a player that played back in 2005 against the Sioux Falls Storm down in Sioux City, Fred Jackson, who went on to a stellar career in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills. So to have the Hall of Fame game, and especially the coach, Kurtiss Riggs, being inducted into the Hall of Fame, really invite fans to come out and celebrate these men that have contributed so much to the IFL.
Yeah, no, that's a great experience for us. Being that we're the reigning national champions, we have the honor of hosting that game, and going forward, whoever wins that national championship will have that honor to host the IFL Hall of Fame game every year. So those inductees will be invited to the games going forward. So hopefully we continue that tradition of having it here every year. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
But yeah, congratulations to Coach Riggs. And this is the first year where we all voted as owners in the IFL that we would allow current coaches to be inducted. And Riggs has been a part of this for a long time, and it's very well deserving. He's got the numbers that are going to be hard to match, and so we're excited that he gets to do that on the home field, and hopefully in front of a great big crowd that we are going to bring out to support him. So,
yeah, Haran O'Neill, coach currently in the CIF with the Salina team. He has won 2 IFL championships at Billings. John Pettit, who has died this past year because of COVID. He was the chief operating officer general manager down for the Iowa Barnstormers, knew him very well. He died of COVID. And then also Fred Jackson, that we talked about, what a stellar career that he had. And I never forget watching him play in that game down in Sioux City. What an outstanding athlete he was. Went on to Europe and played there, then came back and played with the Buffalo Bills. So they'll be a part of the Hall of Fame game coming up on Saturday. And then not only that, the next week is going to be the rematch of the United Bowl Championship. It's going to be the Arizona Rattlers coming to town to take on the Sioux Falls Storm. 2 outstanding games to start off the 2021 season.
Yeah, it'll be a great time. We're looking forward to it. You couldn't ask for a better start to the season. I told Riggs that, being that he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame and that we got 2 big games, he better win. No pressure there that he's getting inducted and he's supposed to be that great coach. Well, here you go. Here's your chance. Better perform. So, but jokingly with him, but he's feeling that pressure, I think, too. So there's 2 big games, but we're really excited to have them.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for being on the Kurtiss Riggs Show. I applaud you and your family's efforts in taking over the Sioux Falls Storm, bringing it to new heights, and wish you nothing but the best throughout the season and the years to come.
Sounds great. I appreciate it, Rich. Thank you.
Jason Headley, president of the Sioux Falls Storm. When we come back, we'll have a conversation with the Storm head coach, Kurtiss Riggs, and you're watching, for the first time, you're watching the Kurtiss Riggs Show, and we'll be back right after this.
Best carpet cleaning ever? Then you need to check out Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration. Since 1989, Best Choice incorporates the work ethic and durability of old school family methods with the efficiency of modern equipment to offer high quality cleaning services. When they're done cleaning the carpet in your home or office, you'll be thrilled with the results. Try Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration and experience the best carpet cleaning ever.
Hi, everybody. This is Rich Roste for the Sioux Falls Storm. When you think about sponsors that have been a part of the Sioux Falls Storm organization, there's no one that's been around longer than Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. They've been around since the days of the Cobras 21 years ago, and they are a special organization, and they've been working to further enhance deliveries in Sioux Falls by supplementing their delivery staff with a third-party delivery company so you get your subs baked fresh, sliced fresh, and delivered fresh. That's Good Sense. Deli Fresh Subs. Man, that's good.
More people are choosing Silver Star Car Wash than ever. Just $14.95 per month for fast, easy, unlimited washes at all of our Silver Star Car Wash locations. Get in and out quick and easy with free vacuums and prep towels and several convenient locations all over town. You won't find a better value anywhere. Just $14.95 per month for unlimited washes. Silver Star, a better wash, a great feeling.
Fireplace Professionals is a proud supporter of the Sioux Falls Storm. Our gas fireplaces and inserts from Heat and Glow and Heatolator are the best in the business. You can stop in and see the region's largest showroom or visit us on the web at fireplaceprofessionals.com and get a virtual tour. We have almost 100 Heat and Glow and Heatolator models on display and even more in stock. If you ever need advice, just call 605-339-0775 or better yet, stop in and see us at 1217 West 41st Street in Sioux Falls. You're going to love the way your home feels. Hey Sioux Falls, do you want the guaranteed best carpet cleaning ever? Then you need to check out Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration. Since 1989, Best Choice incorporates the work ethic and durability of old school family methods with the efficiency of modern equipment to offer high quality cleaning services. When they're done cleaning the carpet in your home or office, you'll be thrilled with the results. Try Best Choice Cleaning and Restoration and experience the best carpet cleaning ever.
Hi, everybody. This is Rich Roste for the Sioux Falls Storm. When you think about sponsors that have been a part of the Sioux Falls Storm organization, there's no one that's been around longer than Good Sense Deli Fresh Subs. They've been around since the days of the Cobras 21 years ago, and they are a special organization, and they've been working to further enhance deliveries in Sioux Falls by supplementing their delivery staff with a third-party delivery company so you get your subs baked fresh, sliced fresh, and delivered fresh. That's Good Sense. Deli Fresh Subs. Man, that's good.
More people are choosing Silver.
And back for our final segment with the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. Coach, coming up are the Iowa Barnstormers. Tell us a little bit about them, and then see if you can tell us a little bit about the Sioux Falls Storm.
Well, it's tough. It's tough to tell you about Iowa, Rich. I mean, you know, the one thing you know is they have DeQuan Neal at quarterback, and he's the reigning MVP. You know, they have 2 of their receivers back, 1 of their offensive linemen, but a lot of new personnel, and a lot of new personnel that probably fits the new coaches they have. They have a new head coach. They have a new D coordinator. And so it's really an unknown for us on what they're going to do schematically, and then even recognizing a lot of the personnel.
And that's the toughest part about a season starting, to have the first game, excuse me, first game, such an important game for both teams, and really be in the dark about how to approach it. So what's the idea of your mindset when you go to coach? Just do what we do best, or try to make adjustments also on game day?
I think a little bit of both. I mean, I think some of the things for us will change based on our personnel. We're going to fit things, do some new things based around some of the guys that we have that we feel like we can do things a little differently, offensively and defensively. But I think you're right. Yeah, it's execution. It will be the key, and then adjustments during the game will be, instrumental for our success. I think they have all the advantage because they can watch all our film from previous years and know that we'll be similar probably. But we don't have anything on them. There's nothing that we can utilize that would show us anything that we could expect for them to do.
And that's one of the toughest parts about the first game of the season. However, there's things on both sides that'll be rusty. There'll be things on both sides that'll be able to be capitalized or minimized. And you're a Hall of Fame coach now, and your record has proven to the fact that you have ways of figuring stuff out once the whistle blows.
Well, I think one of the keys where I probably did the best job was getting really good people around me to make up for my deficiencies. So having really good assistant coaches and getting really good players. I mean, I think about a lot of the quarterbacks that we've had, or offensive linemen, defensive linemen, just players in general. We've had a lot of great ones. And so, I've been very fortunate, and that's a big key to our success.
Who's on your staff this year as coaches?
This year, offensively, we have Blake Wilson's back again, and then Vinny Olson, former player, is going to be our offensive line coach, and he'll do a great job. And then defensively is the same. Brian Hermanson, D coordinator, Andre Fields, and Corey Johnson helping him out.
Great coaching staff. Coach, again, congratulations on the Hall of Fame. Our best to you for the 2021 season. We'll talk to you on Saturday. However, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. I won't be seeing you for a pregame interview because I won't be doing the Storm broadcast, but we'll be working with the television crew.
All right. Look forward to it, Rich.
Thank you very much. Head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs. And we'll be back and wrap this up after we pause for this timeout.
Star Car Wash than ever. Just $14.95 per month for fast, easy, unlimited washes at all of our Silver Star Car Wash locations. Get in and out quick and easy with free vacuums and prep towels and several convenient locations all over town. You won't find a better value anywhere. Just $14.95 per month for unlimited washes. Silver Star, a better wash, a great feeling.
Fireplace Professionals is a proud supporter of the Sioux Falls Storm. Our gas fireplaces and inserts from Heat and Glow and Heatolator are the best in the business. You can stop in and see the region's largest showroom or visit us on the web at fireplaceprofessionals.com and get a virtual tour. We have almost 100 Heat and Glow and Heatolator models on display and even more in stock. If you ever need advice, just call 605-339-0775 or better yet, stop in and see us at 1217 West 41st Street in Sioux Falls. You're going to love the way your home feels. Hey, Sioux Falls.
And welcome back for our final segment of the Kurtiss Riggs Show. And it's a whole new start. It's a whole new start, having a video show for the Kurtiss Riggs Show. We'll also have video of the games, and they'll all be archived on the Storm website or on their Facebook page. I want to thank our guests today, Tom Falcinelli, and also Jason Headley, of course, the Storm head coach, Kurtiss Riggs. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday, big-time tailgating. There's lots of activities going on starting at 2 o'clock at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. At 2 o'clock, there's the Burger Battle, and that's going to be interesting, along with the Food Truck Challenge, the parade of the players, and also the Lightning Girls. All that coming up prior to the game on Saturday. Kickoff is at 7:05, and get your tickets because it's going to be Hall of Fame night. And the Storm head coach, Kurtiss Riggs, will be inducted along with Haran O'Neill, former coach, a Sioux City Bandit former player, and a former Buffalo Bill, Fred Jackson, and also the former GM of the Iowa Barnstormers, John Pettit, who will receive the honors posthumously. So for the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm, Kurtiss Riggs, I'm Rich Roste. Have yourself a great afternoon, evening, whenever you watch this. Maybe it's a morning, but I appreciate you finding us, Check everything out on SiouxFallsStorm.com. We'll talk to you again next week.
This has been the Kurtiss Riggs Show. Join us every week for our conversation with the Storm head coach, Kurtiss Riggs. Check out the Storm's website, SiouxFallsStorm.com, for all the latest information, schedules, history, videos, and so much more about the Storm. Thank you for watching the Kurtiss Riggs Show, brought to you by Sanford Health. Go Storm!